I want to welcome you back to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up? Yo, what's up, YouTube? You guys, man, you showed up and showed out. Thank you so much. We are up to our first 1,000 subscribers. Please don't hesitate to go ahead and subscribe, though, because, I'm not prejudiced. I mean, you could just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification every time we upload. We got some wonderful stuff for you. We also have some really cool private consultations coming up. Oh, I'm so excited. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Oh my goodness, we have a wonderful, wonderful author and just all around person today. I'm just gonna say it. You can get us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer, Vimeo, Roku, Amazon Fire. Oh my gosh, and we're everywhere. And also, we have a couple more spots that we're going to be at. So you don't want to miss out on any of the shows. And at the end of the show, we have a special announcement for you. So don't go anywhere. Man, I want to welcome my guest. Please tell everybody who you are and what you do.
All right. Thank you, Miss Diamond. And I want to thank you and your viewers for welcoming me. But my name is Shawn Abrams from Abrams 360 Media. I am the author of T-Minus Everything and Counting and the new YouTube series, Next 5 Minutes.
Hello. Yes. I like that. I like what you have behind you too. That's amazing. I like that. Next 5 minutes. I like it. So tell us about this book and why should people get it?
Okay. So this book is about leadership and relationships, right? Mm-hmm. And we have plenty of leaders. It's only that I find that some of our leaders today are more focused on leading their sphere of influence. Not a lot of folks outside of that. And they lead people to their agenda, which we might say there's nothing wrong with it, but if you're leading someone to an agenda, it's very, I think an agenda is very narrow-minded, or it's a very narrow view of the future. It doesn't allow for inclusion of others that don't think or see the same way that you do. Mm-hmm. And I think leaders should lead people to vision, which is broader. That is inclusive. A vision can incorporate or accommodate multiple agendas from different kinds of people. So I think the book speaks to that. It speaks to leadership relationships on very intimate one-on-one levels and very broad levels. And I think that is what we need. There's just a lot of turmoil today, and a lot of confusion, and people don't have direction. So those are the topics and issues that I look at and address in the book.
Sweet. Okay, I gotta ask you, how did you come up with the book cover? Because I'm loving what's behind you. Is that the book cover?
No.
Come on.
It's not the book cover.
But that is the YouTube series, right?
Yes.
I like that too.
Thank you.
So
my head is blocking the 5. I have a big head.
It's okay. I do too. But that's okay. So how did you come up with the book cover design then?
Okay. So I wanted a different book cover. I wanted the book cover to stand out. I wanted to stop people when they saw it. Mm-hmm. So on the book cover is a man standing on a launch pad. So that imagery is very different. You wouldn't expect to see that. Mm-hmm. And I put the man and a launch pad between 2 mountains, which is a valley. So it's a low place for this person, but he's not looking at his surroundings. He's looking up in the direction that he wants to go in. He's prepared because he's dressed in a suit, but he can't take off yet. And I think that's important to note. So often we get prepared to do something and we think because we're prepared, we're ready. No, if you got your driver's license today, you're not ready to go on an open road and drive by yourself tomorrow. So there's a lot of imagery and messaging in that. Mm. And that's what I wanted to bring together on the cover, but it looks like a movie poster. I didn't want to look like the traditional book cover. So I thought that would be something that stood out.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I feel like my book cover should be like me being like Wonder Woman or something. Something
there you go.
Totally different. Yeah. So yeah, right? I'm going to spin around in circles. I mean, that's the way I saw Wonder Woman back in my day. They got a new one now, but whatever. Yeah. All right. So tell us about your writing style then. I mean, does it depict the same thing as the cover? I mean, is it as exciting?
I don't know if I would describe it as exciting. I'll leave that to the readers, but there is this duality that that I kind of live my life by, and I enjoy sharing with others. So
Mm-hmm.
just as the book cover I talked about, there's a man standing on a launch pad. You know, he looks like he's the missile. I do that in my writing. I like to incorporate different elements to make the material more enjoyable, easier
Mm-hmm.
to digest, and more memorable. But in terms of writing, I don't write from cover to cover, from the first page to the last. I think in terms of themes, and I put the themes down and I go back later to kind of expound on them and bridge them together.
Mm-hmm.
So writing for me is just anytime. I always get a thought to my head or in my head and I write it down and I look to go back and fill that in later.
I think that's exciting though. I mean, think about it. You know, a guy standing on a launch pad. I mean, who stands on a launch pad? A launch pad is not for a guy. A launch pad is for like a plane or a rocket or something
Mhm.
like that. So that's exciting. To me, that's exciting. I mean, and the writing, I mean, okay, so I heard that you have a soundtrack for one of the tracks.
Yes.
I mean, you know, so what was your thinking behind this? Because to me, all of this is exciting. It's like the book, the soundtrack. I mean, come on.
All right. So I wrote the book in what I call I was in beast mode. So in
Mm,
the last book I wrote, I had a chapter called beast mode, and I got some traction. People were interested in it, and so I thought, okay, I'll do a beast mode too.
mm,
But with all the things that were happening this year, I felt like I was in my own beast mode most of the time, like a lot of people. And that came out in the writing. And I thought, okay, when I get to beast mode two, I really want to share the experience. I didn't think the written word was enough. I wanted people to feel what I was feeling. And I thought that would naturally be music. And so the music track was born from that. I found a musician, a great guy. He had a nice tempo, what came to be the beast mode tempo, which is the
mm.
heartbeat of the individual. It's a longer it's more to talk about. It's more evolving. But our collaborative effort didn't work together. The guy I found that track with, I had to buy the rights to it and go to someone else, get him to work on it, and buy the rights to that again.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Oh,
really
yeah.
interesting project. It's not going to be a top 40 song or something like that. It's not going to be a dance track, but it definitely gives you the feeling of what I was feeling, gives you the understanding of what beast mode is and how I felt when I wrote it.
That, you know, that's important because I think being a musician myself and being in the music industry, that feeling is that's the conveyance that we want to give the person. It's like,
Right.
can you remember back in the 80s when you first heard that song? What was it? From Breakfast Club, when the guy was holding up the remember that he was holding up the jukebox.
No,
Was
I
it the
don't remember
Breakfast
that.
Club or was it another one? And he was trying to serenade the girl with the music. I remember the movie that I remember where I was. I was in the movie theater and I was like, oh, that's so cute. He can't sing, but he's gonna put the music on. So I
So
mean,
that's good.
I think that's I mean, you know, when you have a book and you have a soundtrack to the book, that takes it a step above and beyond, you know, the duty. I don't really know too many books that do that. And I think that's exciting. I think when you read the book, you gotta have the soundtrack because then you get the entire feeling as
Right,
you're listening to it. Like you
right.
said, you get that entire thing. That is so unique. Thank you so much for doing that. So okay, so how long did it take you to pull all this stuff together?
It took about better part of this year, so maybe 7 to 8 months of work. So the writing came first, and when I came to the realization that I needed to express what I was writing more, the soundtrack came. I hit a little low. I think that was around March or so when the quarantine became a really big thing,
Mm,
and that was a good time for me to work on a book cover because that
yeah.
motivated me to drive the rest of the project through.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
but it
so
wasn't until like late October, November that I'm going to release.
oh, okay, all right, all right. Well, I mean, it takes time. I mean, you got to get a bunch of stuff together. So who benefits from reading this book?
I would say everyone. It doesn't matter if you're married, single, if you lead people, if you're married or not. It speaks to everyone because
Hmm.
everything that we have in life with people is based on a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people that you can't lead others without having a relationship with them or without the benefit of relationship with them, because that could be bullying. And when I say that, I mean like you don't want a relationship, you just want to tell people what to do.
Right.
So I think it's important to just about everyone in every aspect of life. Yeah.
That's good. So okay, so how is this book different than all your other books?
Ooh. Okay, so the first book I wrote, I think that was more so for me. I wanted to see if I could do it. And the second book, I thought, okay, I'm going to prove to people I could write a better book. In this book, I think I went a different route. I wanted to really get to the core of what I do and the message I want to bring, the way that I want to teach the subject of leadership. And so it's more purposeful. I was more intentional with what I'm sharing. There are still many more stories of my life. I added some elements of humor to it because I want to make it memorable. But I want people to take away the fact that they should be feeling something about whatever's important to them, thinking about it, but more importantly, taking action. So that's the big theme of the book. I want people to take action, not just read something or learn about something and go, oh, yeah, that's a terrible thing that's happening. No, what are we going to do about it?
That's a question right there.
That's a
It's like,
question. That is a question.
what are you going to do about it? I like that. So, okay, so you said in your previous conversations that this book is your answer to 2020. Share that with me. What do you mean
Okay.
by that?
Okay, so 2020 was a surprise. I mean, I came into 2020 in February and I released The Seven Epaulets of Leadership. That was my second book. I thought this is going to be great. I'll market this book throughout the year. And then pandemic, and then all these changes, social unrest, political strife. And I thought, I don't want to wait until next year. I think I want to surprise 2020. And my surprise, my contribution, my answer or response to 2020 was this second literary offering. And I decided, okay, I should also do another YouTube video series because people are hurting and some people are lost and some people are disappointed. And I believe there will be more cases of mental illness as a result of some of the things that we're dealing with. I just feel bad for people who don't have a place to go, who have lost someone and you can't replace that loss. You turn on your television and you see that there are different camps and you may not neatly fit into one of them, or you don't like what the leadership is saying. What do you do then? So I feel for those people, and I think I just want to rally people under a new banner, not a new flag, but a new way of thinking, a new mindset. That it is leadership. We have to lead from the front. It's not this narrow view of my agenda and everyone else is out of here. You know, we're only catering to ourselves. I want something that's more inclusive, something that will unite us. And so that's a part of this book. And I wanted to move it up even before the election. I'm working really hard to drop it before the election because I want people to have the message before, before the dust settles.
Billy, the dust. It's like a cloud.
Oh, yeah.
It's a cloud. I mean, we're so divided, but okay, forget about that. You're teaching
Yeah.
people, right? You're teaching.
Yes.
So what is the basis for your teaching?
Ooh, okay. So the basis of my teaching is leading oneself before we lead others. So I got this from the first book, and the tagline for that book, which was the book was leading in the first person, was lead your purpose and manage your principles. I don't know why I'm forgetting that, but it was 2 books ago. So I'm telling people we want to lead our purpose, and purpose, if I can describe it for you, is like a job description. It's black and white. That's what you were hired to do. But in the course of doing the work, we develop principles, maybe people we don't like or processes we're not wanting to do. And if that clouds our decision making or changes what we do in a form of work, we're now being led by our principles in that case. And so I say that we are safe if we are led by our purpose or if we follow our purpose. So that's a big thing for me. Vision, purpose, leadership, relationships. It's something that we need in our culture. It's something families need. The family unit needs it. A mom or dad or caregiver needs to train their children in this way. And these are things that we should not, these are things that should not fall by the wayside. And this is why I have dedicated myself to doing this work. That's
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's important. You know, we all have something that we need to express to each other and to get out. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
what were the pain points in this project?
Okay. So I will say that I am working with my longtime editor, Galadriel Grace of Grace Notes, LLC, and she's been great. So she's really good to collaborate with. But some of the pain points that I experienced were some myself, dedicating the time that I needed to do this. I like to write between 10 and 2 in the morning. It's my time of solitude. Um, and expressing myself clearly to the people that I worked with, the creative talent, the people who helped me with the music or the book cover, logo design. I found myself going back and forth quite a bit. And it's understandable, but those are pain points for me, trying to articulate exactly what I saw in my vision to this person who has their own creativity. And there were times when people volunteered things that I didn't like. They're like, hey, what if you try this? No, give me what I paid for. And then when the project is done and when it's delivered, we can look back. We
Right.
can collaborate. Yeah, but I don't want to change the vision before it's even, before we even get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that
I
it's a
got
bad
you.
thing, but those are pain points. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we all have something that we go through when we're trying to develop something,
Mhm.
going back and forth and back and forth, and then figuring out that this person is not going to work for this.
Right.
It's not going to work. Okay, so beast mode.
Beast
I
mode.
love beast mode. Beast mode to me is like is the ultimate, like you're in it. You're like you're on that plane
Mhm.
and your dog barks and you're off that plane. It's like, but beast mode, okay, so beast mode has its own soundtrack. Will there be a beast mode 3?
You know, I would do it, but I hope not. My thought is I did Beast Mode 1, I did
Mm-hmm.
Beast Mode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Beast Mode 3 is something that each individual kind of does on their own. I don't know that I have to write that. If I wrote the second one and we read it and we lived it, you do that, each
Mm-hmm.
person, because it will be very personal then. So I think I set the stage for it, and I think we can do that on our own. But I'm definitely open to doing it. If that's where it goes, I will follow it. I will do Beast Mode 3 if I had to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I agree with you. I mean, it's like, okay, so you have 1, you have 2, now take it.
Right.
Take it from here. Do
Right.
it. Do it. I mean, that would be kind of cool if you got like somebody that sent you music for Beast Mode 3. I think that would
All
be kind
right.
of
Yeah,
cool.
it would.
That would be really cool.
It would.
So
It would.
I think that'd be great. Okay, so will people be reading this book 100 years from now?
You know, I hope not. This book was written primarily for these times. Leadership is not lost, but there is some confusion. Some of us are sticking to our guns, and we could be being led in the wrong direction. We're not coming together. There's very little unity. There's just a lot of killing. People are going to protest, and they're dying at the protest because someone died, and that's why I don't know. This is written for the times, and I hope 100 years from now, we would have grown out of this as people, as a society. That is my hope. So I'm contributing now so that we can look at ourselves and our communities, our culture, what we believe, what we would like to do, how we would like to help, what we want to pass on. And hopefully these things will allow us to grow out of this so that the next generation would not have to read a book like this.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. All right, so I want to ask you a question because the poster behind you, you're sitting in it, and I'm just like, okay, I want to know about next 5 minutes. I want to know about it. So you have to explain it to me. So it's next 5 minutes with Shawn Abrams.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
All right. So I was doing YouTube videos that were much longer. I mean, like 15, 20 minutes. And even I was getting tired of watching them, right? So I wanted to move to a shorter format with more, concentrated messaging. And so I thought 5 minutes is not really intrusive. We could do a lot of things in this 5 minutes, but can I be impactful enough in that amount of time? And I thought, yeah, next 5 minutes with Shawn Abrams. So the next 5 minutes of your life could be spent with me, but maybe that can affect you for a long time after that. So that's the basis for it. I'm just going to intrude in someone's life for that period of time, and I want to share with them and leave them with a message and a thought, something, again, that they can take action on. I don't want to leave people with a nice thought. Like, I want to get people primed to do something. Yeah, and that's the part of it. Next 5 minutes.
Awesome. So we'll have that in our favorites. So if you guys go straight to YouTube, and you'll see that we have, like, where you go and you look at this, like the different shows that we have, and it's on the first page. You'll see on the very bottom, just scroll down, you'll see on the very bottom we have like different channels, and he'll be one of the channels that we feature on there. So that'll be really nice. So next 5 minutes with Shawn Abrams, right below, just scroll down, click on it, it'll take you straight there. Okay, so what's next for Shawn Abrams?
Everything.
I like that.
To be different.